It is once again time for the news here on Rwanda Television, and as always, I'm glad you're able to join us. My name is Sarah Shinhore. We'll begin with the headlines. The Rwanda Defense Force and the Uganda People's Defense Forces are meeting in Nyagatare district for the 5th Proximity Commanders meeting. The Rwanda Climate Smart Agriculture Investment Plan has officially been launched. And on the international scene, Pakistan has shut all major border crossings with Iran and issued an advisory against its nationals traveling there. Now straight to the details. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning has announced that the budget allocated to agriculture in the 2025-2026 fiscal year has increased to 236.3 billion Rwandan francs. This aims to boost productivity in the sector in line with the goals outlined in Rwanda's National Strategy for Transformation, that being the second phase, NST2. Adam Squizera with more.
This was highlighted during a session between the Ministry and the Parliament Committee on National Budget and Patrimony as they reviewed the draft law determining the national budget. In the session, members of the committee emphasized the importance of prioritizing agriculture as key drivers of improved livelihood for Rwandans.
I would like to ask how much of the national budget has specifically been allocated to fertilizers. It appears that a significant portion of the funds may be directed towards other areas, so I seek clarification on the exact amount dedicated to fertilizers.
Godfrey Kabera, Minister of State in charge of public investment and resource mobilization, explained that the budget increase is meant to enhance productivity in the sector. He noted that activities such as distribution of fertilizers, improved seeds, and livestock vaccination programs alone will consume over 55 billion Rwandan francs.
As you mentioned, compared to last year, there has been an increase in the national budget allocated to fertilizers. This is a positive step towards boosting the agriculture sector and enhancing farmers' productivity, ultimately strengthening their contribution to the market and the overall economy.
Uwamaria Odette, chairperson of the Committee on National Budget and Patrimony, underscored that prioritizing agriculture in the national budget aligns with the country's broader objective of achieving food self-sufficiency, a pillar of the NST2 development plan.
Gahunda yo kwihutisha iterambere y'igihugu cyacu urwego rw'ubuhinzi n'ubworozi ni inkingi ikomeye.
In our national strategy for transformation, agriculture is recognized as a key pillar, with a target to increase productivity by up to 6%. This growth is essential for ensuring national food self-sufficiency and a stable market supply. After thorough analysis, we found that the budget previously allocated to the agriculture sector was still low. Therefore, we requested an increase and we appreciate that in the current draft, the agriculture budget has been raised by 14 billion Rwandan francs.
In addition to agriculture investments, the Minister of State also briefed the Committee on Government Plan to renovate several genocide memory sites. These include Mungurire Memory Site, which will cost over 200 million Rwandan francs, Mutete Memory Site with a budget of 566 million Rwandan francs, and Mukarandi Memory Site, which will require 250 million Rwandan francs. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams. Now, as we noted in the headlines, the Rwanda Defense Force and the Uganda People's Defense Forces are meeting in Nyagatare, Eastern Province, from the 18th to the 20th of June 2025 for the 5th Proximity Commanders meeting. The purpose of the meeting is to review the prevailing security situation, address challenges affecting border communities, and strengthen security along the Rwanda-Uganda border. The three-day meeting has brought together commanders and staff from RDF infantry divisions deployed along the Rwanda-Uganda border, led by Brigadier General Pascal Muhizi, the commander of the RDF 5th Division, and their counterparts from the UPDF 2nd Infantry Division, headed by Major General Paul Muhaguzi, the division commander. Also in attendance are Rwanda's Defense Attaché to Uganda, Colonel Emmanuel Ruzindana, and Brigadier General Emmanuel Shilling, Uganda's defense attaché to Rwanda. During the meeting, both delegations assessed the progress made in implementing recommendations from the previous gathering, particularly in combating illegal cross-border activities and addressing other potential and emerging security threats. In his opening remarks, Brigadier General Pascal Muhizi expressed appreciation to the UPDF delegation, noting that their presence in Rwanda is a clear testament to the shared commitment to maintaining strong and cordial relations between the two defense forces. He emphasized that the dedication of proximity commanders from both the RDF and the UPDF continues to be a cornerstone of regional and security cooperation. Brigadier General Muhizi underlined that ensuring border security and regional stability is a shared responsibility requiring joint and coordinated efforts rather than isolated actions. He noted that the RDF and the UPDF have demonstrated the effectiveness of collaborative military engagement through structured information sharing and coordinated tactical responses founded on trust and mutual commitment. Given the increasingly complex security landscape, he stressed the importance of adopting a proactive approach. Major General Paul Muhanguzi, the commander of the UPDF 2nd Infantry Division and head of the Ugandan delegation, expressed sincere gratitude to the RDF leadership, particularly the commander of the RDF 5th Infantry Division and his team, for the warm welcome extended to the Ugandan delegation in Rwanda. He acknowledged that significant progress has been achieved through these cross-border engagements, especially in intelligence and information sharing, coordinated security operations, joint command efforts, and the implementation of social initiatives benefiting local populations. The delegation also paid a courtesy call on the leadership of Nyagatare district, where they were welcomed by Gonzaga Matsiko, the vice mayor in charge of economic development. Vice Mayor Matsiko commended the proximity commanders meeting, highlighting that it has enabled both countries to address shared border-related issues and foster stronger cooperation between communities across the border, particularly in the area of social economic development. Nyagatare district shares a border with Ruhama district in Uganda. The delegation is also scheduled to visit the National Liberation Museum at Murindi, that's in Gicumbi district. Now, Rwanda has announced its national investment plan for modern climate-resilient agriculture, known as the Rwanda Climate Smart Agriculture Investment Plan. At the launch, development partners in the sector committed to mobilize around 450 billion Rwandan francs to support the implementation of the plan. William Evans Mutabazi with the details.
This initiative aims to build sustainable systems for food self-sufficiency by promoting climate-smart agriculture that integrates technology. Among the key components of the plan is the acquisition of modern farming machinery, irrigation systems, quality seeds, and making fertilizers and agrochemicals more accessible to farmers. Honorable Eric Rwigamba, the Minister of State for Agriculture and Animal Resources, says that this investment plan is a tool that is going to be very helpful to the sector.
For us, this investment plan is a tool, is a framework that we think is going to be very helpful. When you look at what has been proposed under this investment plan in terms of the crops and the value chain that have been identified, in terms of the sectors and the areas, subsectors and areas, and the practices and initiatives, they are very well aligned. We have committed to increase areas that will be using drought-resistant seeds. The targets are very ambitious. They require a lot of investment. We have committed to increase the areas under irrigation. The targets are very huge and requires investment.
The plan targets to improve 83,250 hectares of land to withstand the impacts of climate change and make them productive through irrigation and use of improved high-yield seeds. It also seeks to connect 170,200 farmers and 375 agribusinesses with financial institutions to strengthen agri-finance and commercial partnerships. The representative of the International Finance Corporation, IFC, expressed strong support for the initiative.
This is a really significant milestone for IFC as well as for the country, in my view. This plan, we have now clear idea how to implement climate-smart agriculture in the country and mobilize the right partners to achieve the ambition of the country. And we partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Rwanda Green Fund to support developing this climate-smart agriculture investment plan.
In November 2024, the Ministry of Agriculture presented 5 priority investment areas under the PSTA5 strategy, which is a strategic plan for the transformation of agriculture covering the period of 2024 to 2029. The plan requires an estimated investment of 6,622.6 billion Rwandan francs, with 44.2% expected from the private sector, particularly in agriculture infrastructure, value chain development, and climate resilience. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, William. Senators who are members of the Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security have urged leaders of Gasabo District to intensify efforts to promote unity and reconciliation among citizens, as well as positive social relations in order to further combat genocidal ideologies. Enola Gladys Venimana with more.
During discussions aimed at promoting unity, resilience and fighting genocide ideology, it was noted that significant progress has been made in combating genocide ideology. However, Abarinzi b'Igihango and members of unity and resilience forums at both the national and district levels pointed out existing gaps that still need to be addressed. Senator Evode Uwizeyimana emphasized that genocide ideology remains prevalent, particularly among youth, and called for urgent and coordinated action to address it.
Nothing is being completely to clearly show that real change is happening. What is evident is that we all need to continue working together in order to build a united country that can develop and overcome challenges rooted in our past and history. As for the youth, we acknowledge that there is still issues that need to be addressed.
Senator Hadija Ndangiza Murangwa, the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security, expressed concern over the fact that 5.3% of Rwandans are still found to harbor genocide ideology, describing it as a worrisome issue. She called for unity and resilience forums at all administrative levels in Gasabo District to enhance public awareness and mobilization toward unity and reconciliation. These unity and resilience forums at the district and sector levels are, according to the current guidelines, required to meet only once a year. We believe this is not sufficient, and we think this could be one of the reasons why challenges still persist. For instance, in 2022, there were 312 recorded cases related to genocide ideology. In 2023, the number increased by over 100 cases, reaching 475, and in 2024, the number is 461. This calls for serious reflection. We need to identify the root causes carefully, assess the situation, and develop appropriate strategies and solutions to address the problem. The senators commended the progress made so far, noting that 94.7% are not associated with the genocide ideology, a significant improvement from 82.3% in 2010. Gasabo District, located in Kigali, became the 15th district to be visited by the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security. The committee plans to visit all districts across the country to assess the status of unity and resilience programs among Rwandans. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Enola. Now, the leaders and followers of various religious institutions, faith-based organizations, and belief-driven associations gathered for a series of discussions aimed at strengthening awareness and prevention efforts against the outbreaks of mpox and Marburg viruses which have emerged in the past. The sessions, which were also attended by vice mayors from various districts, highlighted the significant role religious institutions play in combating and preventing the spread of such diseases, especially by encouraging physical distancing and promoting hand hygiene practices. The president of the Interfaith Council of Churches, Religious Organizations and the Catholic Church, Archbishop Dr. Laurent Mbanda, emphasized the value of this public awareness campaign. The Secretary General of the Rwanda Governance Board, Dr. Edward Karisa, stated that this interfaith platform holds a strong and influential voice in efforts to curb the spread of epidemics. This awareness campaign against the mpox and Marburg viruses was organized by the African Evangelic Enterprise Rwanda. Now, a team from the British High Commission here in Rwanda has visited Huye and Gisagara districts, that's in the southern province, where they met with residents benefiting from the REDA project. This initiative supports 4,000 people in protecting the environment through tree planting, small livestock farming, and beekeeping. The project operates in Mukura and Gishavu sectors of Huye district, and Mugobwa and Ndora sectors of Gisagara district, areas in the southern province that are often affected by natural disasters. Residents report that livestock farming has helped them produce organic manure, which improves soil quality, while the trees planted help control erosion on previously vulnerable land. Small-scale projects have also become a source of income for many. The project began working with communities last year. In Gisagara alone, over 95,000 trees have been planted, nearly 200 small livestock distributed, and 90 beehives established. The British High Commission funds the initiative, which is implemented by Tier Fund and AEE, as part of efforts to tackle climate change and protect the environment.
Laying hooks. Giving away. Making moves. Breakfast with family. Inyanje is always there. Whatever the occasion, whatever the moment, always ask for Inyanje.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashisha, ariko byaragiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Muyobozi wa sosiyete, turakwibutsa ko buri sosiyete isabwa n'itegeko kubika ibitabo bya sosiyete ndetse no gushyikiriza RDB amakuru abikubiyemo. Ibyo bitabo birimo igitabo cy'abanyamigabane, icy'abagenewe inyungu ku migabane, inyandiko y'amakuru ya sosiyete, ibaruramari ngarukamwaka n'izindi. Gutanga amakuru y'ugenewe inyungu ku migabane wanyura kuri bo.rdb.rw, naho gutanga izindi nyandiko ukanyura kuri org.rdb.rw.
Pakistan has shut all major border crossings with Iran and issued an advisory against its nationals traveling there. Hundreds of Pakistanis, mostly students, have left the country crossing the Iran-Pakistan border by bus. An estimated 40,000 Pakistanis live in Iran. Al Jazeera has more.
Pakistan is deeply concerned about the events inside Iran and the Israeli attack, which Pakistan has condemned. Pakistan has closed 5 border crossings with Iran. It has a 905-kilometer long frontier. Hundreds of students who are studying in Iran have already returned There are tens of thousands of Pakistanis in Iran who will also be planning to move back into Pakistan. Pakistan has a sizable Shia population whose holy sites are in Iran, and thousands of Pakistanis go for pilgrimage to Iran. But the two countries also have a history of trading allegations against each other. The Iranians saying that Pakistan has been harboring anti-Iran elements such as the Jaish al-Adl. It was in January 2024 when Iran used missiles to strike targets inside Balochistan, saying that they were neutralizing the Jaish al-Adl. Pakistan, on the other hand, is worried that Baloch groups, armed groups that are operating on Iranian soil, may take advantage of the instability inside Iran to carry out more attacks inside Pakistan. So Pakistan, although having condemned the attack by the Israelis, saying that this was a violation of Iran's sovereignty, is at the same time walking a very tightrope because it also wants to maintain its relationship with the United States. It will be important to see what kind of concessions the United States may want from Pakistan in the event they decide to join the fray against Iran. Kamal Haider, Al Jazeera, Quetta.
French police are struggling to halt a potentially record-breaking surge of people from reaching the UK in small boats organized by a growing network of smuggling gangs. Downing Street has said the situation is deteriorating, although the French authorities claim they are now intercepting more than two-thirds of those boats before they reach the sea. The smugglers are now changing tactics to launch so-called taxi boats from new sites in new ways and with ever greater speed. BBC News with the details.
A serene stretch of French sand south of Calais, and the end of another busy night. Below, some of the many hundreds of people who've been trying to dodge the police and catch a ride on a smuggler's boat. And here's how that struggle has been playing out. Moments earlier, on the very same beach, dozens of migrants gathering in the shallows. Camerawoman Leah Gedge and I wade out towards them. The boat circles, people waiting their turn, as if queuing for a bus or a taxi. On board, the man on the left appears to be directing things.
So the next group is moving forwards to try and get on board. Are you going to get on?
Yeah.
You go to England?
Yeah, England.
Last on, families, some struggling. There are people here from Afghanistan, Eritrea. The so-called taxi boat system is the smugglers' latest tactic. They launch the boats in secret, sometimes up to 100 kilometers away, then cruise along the coast picking up passengers and avoiding the police.
This is the problem for the French police. As soon as these migrants are in the water, the police say they cannot intervene.
And so 18 police officers stand and watch.
What would you say to people in Britain watching these pictures and thinking, surely the French police can do more?
The police will be able to be more effective when our government changes the rules to authorize us to intercept a boat when it's already in the water. But we need to be careful not to put the migrants, including children, in more danger.
It's been clear for days that another surge of small boat crossings was coming. A build-up of people in the camps, good weather forecast. And so a last proper meal for Luna from Somalia before she sets off again.
How many times have you tried to cross?
Me, I tried 12 times.
Can you swim?
No, I don't swim. It's risky. Sometimes boat is very far. That's why women and children left so many times behind.
So the men clamber on board the boat?
Yeah. Men.
It's harder for you?
Yeah, it's harder for us.
Afternoon, and the crowds cram into buses, guided by their smugglers, to be dropped off along a huge stretch of French coastline. Nighttime, and the French police are getting good at spotting the migrants with their drones. the camera picking up people sitting round a fire. But as so often, the smugglers are a step ahead. And now, frustrating news reaches the police. Up the coast, this car has just raced onto the beach itself with a taxi boat strapped to the roof, ready to launch in seconds, too quick for the police.
So the smugglers are adapting again. Ils s'adaptent.
Ils s'adaptent. Donc là, on va aller à Tardingan.
But it's not over. The police are now trying to catch the smugglers before they can pick up any passengers.
So we're now racing up the coast following the police as they try to track the taxi boat, which is already at sea, and we can actually see it off the coast just there. It's a group of migrants up ahead. They're waiting in the water, hoping to catch a taxi boat, which we can see arriving just now.
Within minutes, dozens of people have managed to squeeze on board, and the taxi boat sets off towards England. The French police say overall they stop more than 2/3 of small boat launches on land, but the smugglers are still winning. On this occasion, perhaps a dozen people are left behind. One couple pondering wordlessly whether to linger or to head back to shore. The lure of Britain means most here will try again and again. Andrew Harding, BBC News, Northern France.
Before we conclude this edition, let us again take a look at the headlines. The Rwanda Defense Force and the Uganda People's Defense Forces are meeting in Nyagatare district for the 5th Proximity Commanders meeting. The Rwanda Climate Smart Agriculture Investment Plan has officially been launched. And Pakistan has shut all major border crossings with Iran and issued an advisory against its nationals traveling to that country. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition. Martina Avera will be with you for the next one, and I'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye.